Hello everyone, my name is William. Welcome to another tutorial, and in today's tutorial we are going to look at how to be able to use a strong password in a Laravel application in a way in which we can be able to request our user to ensure that they have been able to put a strong password, which includes several things. So we are going to do the validation logic, but of course I would like us to install our new Laravel project. So we are going to say composer create project Laravel. The name of the project, let us call it strong password, something like that. So as it creates our project, I'm going to pause the tutorial such that we resume once the project is fully installed. Our project is fully installed. I would like us to move into that directory, so cd strong password, and then run our Laravel application php artisan serve. I will open our project in Visual Studio Code and create a controller. So I will go to terminal, new terminal, and we are going to create a controller function php artisan make controller, and the name of the controller, I'm going to call it auth controller. Our controller is created successfully, so we go to app http controllers, then we have auth controller, and inside here, because we just want a strong password validation, I'm only going to create one method here. We are going to call it register. So we are going to have a register method, and inside here we are going to do several things. I want us to also, on top of creating the register method, to also create a form request, in this case, which will be doing the custom validation for this specific method. So I'm going to also say php artisan make request, and we are going to call it register request, and our request is created successfully inside app http and then requests. So I would like us to open that one first and do a few things, and then we will go back to the controller. So here I want to, where we have to authorize, I want to say true. In other words, you say that the user who hits this request is authorized, and then under the place where we're having rules is where we are going to put our logic. So we're just going to check for email. So we want our request to have an email required, in that a user must be able to submit the email and it must be a valid email. And then for the password, that is the one that I want to say a few things. We are going to have it that we will pass in an array, and the first thing that we are going to have is that the password is required. And then after that, we are going to say password minimum, maybe 6 letters. Then we can be able to pass in every other thing. So we can say we require letters like that. We can also say we require numbers, and so on and so forth. There are so many things that you can be able to put here. And then from here, we will go back to our auth controller and be able to pass in our request. So I'm going to say, but before we do that, in our form request, in this case, that which we are calling register request, we are supposed to import the validation rules for the password. So we are going to use eliminate and then validation, rules, and then password, like that. So that one is okay. You save it. Then you go to the auth controller, and then here we are going to pass register request, and then the variable request. And then we are going to then go ahead and check the validation. So we're just going to say validated request, validated is request validated. So we want to check what it is that has been validated, and then you say return validated. Just that, and we are done. So at the end of everything, if we can be able to spit that one out, we will be good. I would like us to go to our web.php, and we are going to define the routes. So you go to this web.php, the routes folder, and here we are going to say to add a post request, post route, sorry, and then this post route we are hitting the register endpoint, and then we are referencing the controller. So in this case I will say auth controller class, and above here we are going to import that controller. So we're going to say use app http controllers, and then auth controller. And remember, we in the scope of this tutorial, we are not going to do the full validation up until we store the user in the database. We are just checking if our passwords are going to be validated accordingly. So that is what we have. Then I would like to just use the default file that is in the resources. So in this case, we are going to go to resources and views, go to welcome.blade.php. I want to remove all this, and I have a package that an extension that has been installed in my machine that can be able to assist me to put some HTML5 code. But instead of doing that, let me just go to Chrome and copy whatever it is that we have in Bootstrap 5. So I just open the browser and do that. So we are going to have Bootstrap, Bootstrap. We go to that web page, and then here you go to documentation. Just want to copy the starter template, the one that has yes, I think this one is good enough. This one that has Bootstrap and CSS. So you copy this one and paste it here. After that, I will remove whatever we have in the body and just the first line that says hello world, and go and also again in Bootstrap go to this place where we have forms, maybe cards. Let's go first of all to cards. So components, card. Just copy one of the cards that exist here. Just one of the examples, maybe. Let me get one that spans the whole page, maybe this one. So I can copy everything here, and then I'm going to paste in the body area of our document and save. After that, under the card title, I'm going to change this and just call it login. And then the body, I'm also going to just copy a form here. So you go to Bootstrap forms, and maybe even just under overview, just copy one of the forms. I think the first one is just good enough. So we are going to copy this form in entirety like that. I'm going to paste it here. Remove this and paste it under the card title. So I format it a bit. So where we have form, yes. Let me move it a little bit, indent it a little bit, like that. So this is what we are having. So for the input type email, I'm going to write here name, and then we are going to set it as email. And then of course we are also going to set a value, so we remove some of these things here. So we are going to set value. In this case, if we have validation errors, we can be able to return back to the same page and have some errors. So that is what I'm going to do. So we are going to have value, and then double parenthesis, open and close. So you have old. So in this case, the old value that has already been posted to our controller function and returned. So we can say old email like that. And then we are also going to maybe put here where we are having email, we can be able to put the place where we can be able to show the errors. So I'm going to just say if we have an error that is related to the email, maybe what should I do? Maybe I can use this div that we have here, and I can say we can just wrap it in a, so we can say at error. So if there are any errors, and then end error. So let me put this one here. So in the event In the event we have an error, I want us to have text danger. So in this case, maybe I can just put it inside the class here, text danger. And then we are going to put the message that we'll be receiving here. So let me just put it like that and have the variable message like that. So then I'm going to do the same for password. I might even just copy some of these things. So for password, we are going to do name. Name is password. And obviously, if you know how to do these things, you can just skip and check when we will be testing. So name is password, and also the value. Let me just copy what we have here. In this case, we are calling it password. The old the password we don't need. We don't necessarily need to return it. It's just okay. Once a user inputs a password and it's not what we want them to just have an empty place where they can be able to do it again. So the name is password. The only other thing that maybe I can copy are the errors that are related to the password. So in this case, I will copy this. And here there is something that I've left out. We are supposed to specify which error. In this case, the error relating to email. So I will copy the whole of this and then paste it where we have password. So maybe just here. Paste it there. Is it there or maybe below? You paste it there? No. Let us paste it after the div. After the div, not before. Here, we can paste it here like that. So, but in this case, the error here is the error relating to the password like that. I also want to do a little bit more, and up here we are going to have the errors more explicitly stated. So I would like to do something a little bit more. We can say if we have any errors. So if errors any, so if we have any validation errors, then we are going to have a div with a class of alert and alert danger. And what we are going to do, we are going to iterate through the errors that we might have had and spit out what those errors are all about. So we can say for each error, we loop through. For each errors all, as error, then and for each then inside here we are going to list our errors. So we are going to list our errors, in other words our error, like that. So I think we almost done. If everything is good, let us attempt and test this thing. Our application is already running, so I can be able to attempt to visit localhost 8000, and we have an invalid route action, and I believe this one is appearing from web.php mostly. Oh, we have referenced it, app http controllers auth controller, and here we are also having auth controller class. Yes, we are supposed to state the method, so in this case the method is register. Like that. So let us try again. Invalid router action, app http controllers auth controller is not invocable. Okay, yes, so because we are only having one method, let me just go ahead and check it out a little bit and then come back such that we can be able to do it. There is something I've forgotten to do here. I would want us to have the square brackets like that. Let us attempt again to refresh and see what is happening. Unexpected token. So in this case, what it is that is unexpected is input type email, old email. Let me check why that is a problem. I have an error because of a typo. There is a bracket that I'm missing, so I will go back and edit that. So here, as you can see, I do not have a closing bracket. And then now I think there is also the same problem with the one for password. Oh no, for password we didn't put, so it's fine. So let us refresh again. Again, unexpected end of file, so error and error. Let me check why that one is the case also. I didn't close this div because there's something that I left out. So first of all, you're supposed to finish up with the div. So in this case, we close it up. That is where our error is coming from. So maybe I will move it a little bit here. And then also endif at endif, because it's the one that is being looked, because we opened by saying if and we have not said that we have reached the end of that file. So let us refresh again and see. Yes, and we have our form. So I want to do a dry run and just try to submit. Yes, there is we have not been able to submit our form properly. So let us go ahead and put some values here. So we are going to say that the method is a post request, and then the action, we are hitting the register route like that. I think now we are okay, so I will attempt to refresh again and attempt to submit. The page expired. That is because we have not been able to have at C we usually have it as CSC. CRF, CSRF, sorry, CSRF, like that. And now I think everything is good. So let us attempt to submit again one more time. Submit. In this case, register request does not exist. Let me check why that is the case. Yes, we have not been able to import it in our auth controller. So let us do that. So we can say use app http requests, and then register request, like that. So we will attempt again. And now we have the validations coming through. So in this case, if I put an email address and submit without a password, it's telling us the password field is required. If we just put one value and we submit, it says the password must contain at least one number. So we can be able to continue on and on and on and strengthen this password. We can head to our form request, register request. We can be able to add a little bit more of validation. So here we have letters and numbers. We can also say we want our password to be mixed case. That means capital letters and small letters. We can also add that we need a password which is having symbols. And we can also say that we need a password which is uncompromised, like that. So all these validation requirements must be met for our password to be accepted. So in this case, the first thing is that it has to be a minimum of 6 characters, then letters, then numbers, then mixed case, capital letters and small letters, symbols, and then the password should be uncompromised. So if we attempt again to put something here, I want to put 6 things. So let me just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's my password. And as you can see, it says 1 uppercase, 1 letter, 1 symbol. And then if we write password, maybe password, and maybe 1 letter, let us see if it accepts that one. It says at least 1 symbol, so you're supposed to add a symbol, and so on and so forth. So I think this tutorial has been useful. I would like to stop here. I ask that you may subscribe, comment, and also share this video such that it may be able to reach and assist any other person who might be in need of maybe increasing the way they authenticate in a Laravel application. Thank you very much.